Hi guys, welcome back to Packed Out, or Packed It. Today we're going to do a deck tech on one of my favourite commanders, which is pretty nasty. It's the Vaultboy Cap Collector, which is Grand Arbiter Augustin IV, or 6th, one of them. But it's the Fallout Secret Lair. He is a 4 mana cost, a white-blue. He reads white spells I cast cost 1 less, blue spells I cast cost 1 less, spells your opponents cast cost 1 more, he is a 2/3. The deck is stax. It's not very nice. When I first got into Magic about a year ago, this was the deck I built. Don't know why, but here we are. I was misled. We'll start off with some of the creatures. Excuse me. So this deck has a few proxies in it just because some of the cards are really expensive. So we've got Tide Spout Tyrant. He costs a lot of mana, but when he's out, he's a 5/5 flyer that says whenever I cast a spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand. So he's like Hullbreak Aura, probably costs a little bit more. Then we have Voice of Victory. This is a new one I've added. It's from Tokyo. Obviously it's a white and 1, so usually it's a white. It has mobilize 2, says whenever this creature attacks, create 2 tapped attacking 1/1 red warriors, sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. It won't be attacking. It is a 1/3 that says your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Sees a lot of play in CDH. Then we've got Windball Muse. This is a white and 3. It's flying, it's a 2/3. It says creatures can't attack you unless their controllers pay 2 for each creature. So he's basically a propaganda and a ghostly prison on a creature, which is always nice. Then we have, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to say it, the Honor Guard. Creatures don't have ATBs, which is always nice. This card comes in clutch a lot, costs 2 mana. Then we have Thalia. We have both of them in the deck. This is the first strike, creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter tapped. Really good. Then we have the other one that says non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. So with Grand Arbiter, it kind of cancels it out. Then we have Spell Type Enforcer. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, that player sacrifices a permanent unless he or she pays 1. Costs 5 mana, probably costs 4 for us. It's a 3/3. This is one of the proxies. It's Painter's Servant. This, I'll show you the combos near the end. Obviously, this card reads, as it enters, you choose a colour. So, for instance, you'd probably say, I don't know, white. All cards that aren't in play, spells and permanents, are that chosen colour. So this turns everyone's deck to a monocolour deck. Then you have Magnus of the Tabernacle. All creatures have, at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this creature unless you pay 1. It's really annoying. From the new Final Fantasy set. The Lorraine of the Third Path. She's a white and 2. She's got Vigilance. She says when she enters, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. And then you can tap her. Me and someone else draws a card. It's a 2/1. Levina. I can never say the names. She is a white and a blue. Each opponent can't cast non-creature spells with mana value greater than the number of lands that player controls. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter it. So she's really good against like people that are using like a lot of Moxers and stuff like that. Then we have Jingataxis, the Progress Tyrant. He is a 7 mana spell. He is a when he comes in, it's whenever you cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery, copy that spell. You may choose new targets, and this ability only triggers once per turn. Whenever an opponent casts a spell of artifact, sorcery, instant, counter it. Only triggers once per turn, but it's really good. It stops a lot of nuisance. And then we have the other Jingataxis, one of the other proxies. It costs 10 mana. It has Flash. At the beginning of your end step, draw 7 cards. Each opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 7. This last line is the most important. A lot of people get confused. But yeah, so if that comes down, you basically, your opponents have no cards in hand. This is one of the fun cards in the deck. Not a lot of people like it. Is Hikari, Dusk Drinker. He's a 4 mana spell. 2 white and 2 colourless. Lands don't untap during their untap steps. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player untaps a land they control. So he's basically a stasis in a creature. Theory Mastermind is a white and a colourless, but usually it's just a blue and a colourless, and the blue is mainly what you'd be paying. As flash, flying. Whenever an opponent draws the second card each turn, you draw a card. You can make people draw as well. Containment Priest, another one with flash. There's white and 1. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it. It's really good against tokens. Consecrated Sphinx. This is a 6 mana spell. It's flying, and it says whenever an opponent draws a card, I draw 2. Really good for draw power. Chiron Conquer. It's a white and 2. Flying. Active abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can't be activated. Shuts down a lot of people. Bard, Steward of Argive. It's a 2 white and 2 colourless. Vigilance, creatures can't attack you unless they pay 1. Another card like Windborn Muse and stuff like that. It's really good. And then you have Aven Mind Sensor. It's a white and 2 with flying and flash. If an opponent would search their library, that player searches the top 4 cards instead. It's really good against like CDH decks. So that's it for the creatures. There's not many. So we'll move on to the Planeswalkers. There's only 2. So we have Narset. She's one that stops people from drawing cards, and then she's basically a built-in brainstorm. Really good. Then you have Teferi Time Reveler. I'm not sure if I really like this card in the deck, but it does slow people down because obviously they can only cast spells at sorcery speed. And then I can give sorceries flash, and then I can return up to 1 target artifact, creature, enchantment to its owner's hand and draw a card. It's really good. Let's move on to sorceries because these are fun. I am playing the nasty package of, so I've got Wrath of God. This is a 4 mana spell, bury all creatures. Then you have Windfall to help you get some more cards in your hand. Sometimes it's really helpful if people have the win cons in hand. There's a blue and 2. Each player discards their hand and draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards discarded. It's really good. Fade Away. Fade Away is really good. It's a blue and 2. Each creature that player controls, pay 1 or sacrifice a permanent. So really good against token decks. Yep, everyone hates this card. It is Armageddon. I play it specifically because I think it's funny, and if you're the furthest behind, it's funny to just cast it because you can cast Armageddon and then everyone else is caught, basically catch back up. All lands in play are destroyed. Yeah, I'm that guy. And then we have Approach of the Second Sun, which is one of the win cons. This is a 7 mana spell. It says if this spell was cast from your hand and you cast another spell named Approach of the Second Sun, you win the game. Otherwise, put it at the top 7, you gain 7 life. That's it for the sorceries. We will move on to instants. Let's get them out of the way. Teferi's Protection. This is a proxy. It is a white and 2. It says until your next turn, your life total can't be changed. Your permanents have protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out. Exile. So protection. Swords of Plowshare. Instant, just straight removal if something's been a problem. It's really good. Spell Pierce. It's just a counter for target creature spells unless they pay 2. It's really good sometimes late game. Path to Exile. Another just destroy a creature. Here's a land. Muddling Mixture. I really like this card. I think it's really good. It's 2 blue. It says counter target instant or sorcery. It has Transmute for 3, which is discard this card, search your library for a card with the same converted mana value as this card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. It's really good. You can search for some really good stuff like your Planeswalkers. Misdirection for 5 mana. I may exile a blue card from my hand and you can cast it, change the target of a spell. It's really good for protection. Mana Leak, this is instead of Mana Drain just because I can't afford one at the moment. It's a blue and 2, blue and 1. Counter target spell unless it's cast or pays an additional 3. So then you got Force of Will. This isn't a real one. I have a real one in my Joe deck. It costs 5, but majority of the time you pay 1 life, remove a blue card from your hand, and you can cast it for 3. It's just a counter. Force of Negation is another one that is pay 3 mana. or if you control your commander, counter a spell. Flusterstorm, this is also in my VV deck, I have the real one. Counter target instant or sorcery for a blue, unless its controller pays 1, but it has Storm, so you'd usually use this one right at the end to stop something if it's really bad. Dramatic Reversal for a blue and 1, but majority of the time it'll be just a blue. Untap all non-land permanents you control. It's really good. And then Dovin's Veto. It's a blue and white. It says this spell can't be countered. Counter target non-creature spell. It's really good. That is it for the instances. Let's move on to enchantments. So we have Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace is a blue, a white, and colourless. It says when it enters exile or graveyards, if a card or token would be put into the graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. This is one of our win cons. Then you have Suppression Field. It is a white and colourless. Active abilities cost 2 more to play unless they are mana abilities. It's really good for slowing down. Then you have Stasis. It's a blue and a colourless. Each player skips his or her untaps their phase. During your upkeep, it has a upkeep cost of pay a blue or bury it. I have a Russian Smother Tithe because I thought it was fun. Smother Tithe is whenever an opponent draws a card, unless they pay 2, you make a treasure, basically, and it costs 4 mana. If you get that out, it's usually a really good time. Rule of Law. It's a white and 2. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell a turn. Now we're going to go into a fun card. So I have the new Rhystic Study. Funny story, I've packed 2 of these now. Sold one immediately and then kept this one. This is a blue and 2. It says whenever an opponent casts a spell, if they don't pay 1, draw a card. Really good. Propaganda, like I was talking about earlier, it's a blue and 2. Creatures can't attack you unless they pay 2 for each creature attacking you. A new one I've added is Out of Time. I really like it. It is 2 white and a colourless. When this enters the battlefield, untap all creatures. Then those creatures phase out until this leaves the battlefield. Put a time counter on it for each creature that's phased out this way. And it has Vanishing, which is really cool. It's a good way to just remove a lot of creatures if they're being a problem. Ghostly Prison, it's another propaganda. It's a white and 2. Creatures can't attack you unless they pay 2. So having them out sometimes can make it so no one can attack. And then you have Aether Barrier, which is a blue and 2. Whenever a player plays a creature spell, that player sacrifices a permanent unless they pay 1. It's really good. As you can see, it is not nice. The whole deck is pretty grim. Go to Artifacts. So Winter Moon, it's 2 colourless. It says players can't untap more than 1 non-basic land during their untap step. So it's another way to lock them out. Weathered Runestone, it's another 2 mana spell. Non-land permanent cards in your graveyard. In graveyards, libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from their graveyard or libraries. It's really good. Stops a lot. Trinisphere is a 3 mana spell. As long as Trinisphere is untapped, each spell that would cost less than 3 mana to play costs 3 mana to play. So 0 costs 3. Topple Orb, it's a 2 mana spell. Creatures entering the battlefield don't cause triggered abilities, so it stops ETBs. Talisman is a 2 mana spell, makes your mana, but it does deal damage. So it makes colourless for no damage, blue or white for 1 damage. Swiftfoot Boots is protection for Grand Arbiter or other creatures. Gives them hexproof and haste. Don't really need haste, but it's the hexproof. Soul Ring, it's a 1 and 2. It's always nice to get Soul Ring. Smokestack, this is really good, but I always forget it. So it's a 4 mana spell. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a suck counter on this, and then at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a permanent for each suck counter on Smokestack. It's really good. Lotus Petal, it's a 0 mana spell. You can sacrifice it, make a mana of any colour. Helm of the Host. So this is a 4 mana spell. This is real. You can pay X and put the top card of target opponent's library into his or her graveyard. Continue doing this until they have put X cards or creature cards into that graveyard, which occurs first. If the last card put into the graveyard is a creature, bury Helm of the Host. Put that card into play under your control as though it was cast. X cannot be 0. So you basically go pay 4, put 1 into it, and and then you can do some funny shenanigans. Grindstone is a 1 mana spell. You pay 3, target player mills 2 cards. If 2 cards that share the same colour were milled this way, repeat the process. So this and Painted Servant is a instant mill. Defense Grid is 2 mana. During each player's turn, each other player spells cost 3 multiply. So it's really good, it means counter spells aren't as good. Dampening Matrix costs 3 mana. Activated abilities of artifacts and creatures can't be played unless they are mana abilities. Zero Signet, 2 mana. Tap, pay 1 into it. It's a filter, so makes you white and blue. Then Arcane Signet, everyone knows Arcane Signet. You pay 2, tap it for mana of any kind. Right, now the lands are weird, there's a lot of proxies. Starting off, Urza Saga. It's a really pretty one. Enters, makes colourless mana. Then you can make a construct if you pay 2 into it, or the main one that everyone does it for is you pay 0 and go grab an artifact from your library. Tundra. This is an old land, it's both an island and a plains, and it taps for white and blue. It's really good and it's searchable. Tranquil Grove, enters tapped, gain 1 life. Then you have the big scary, the Tabernacle of Pendervale. All creatures have an upkeep of pay one mana or destroy that creature. Terramorphic Expanse lets you search for basic. You have to sacrifice it. Temple of Enlightenment enters tap, but you do get to scry, and it's white-blue. Strip Mine is if people are playing really annoying lands, you can basically go, cool, sacrifice, deal, just destroy it. It's annoying, but it's good. Then you have Skycloud, it is a mana fixing land. Scavenging Grounds, don't really need to be in there, but it is. It's colourless, but then you can pay 2, exile all graveyards. But you have to sacrifice it. Reliquary Tower gives you no hand size, taps for colourless. Prairie Stream taps for white blue, but it enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basics. Then we have 4 plains. I specifically went for Russian ones and the snow. Don't ask me why, I just like to have different lands. Path of Ancestry. Enters tapped, but it does add mana of colour identity from your commander, but then you get to scry one as well if it's a creature. Maze of If is a proxy. It's really good if people are attacking you because you can go, cool, that's not attacking now, and just stop it. Lonely Iroh enters tapped, but it does deal damage to target opponent. So if someone's got a Soul Ring turn 1, you do that and deal damage to them. A Karu's fun. Enters tapped. When it comes into play, return an untapped land you control to his land or berry, but then it adds a white and 1 colourless 2 mana pool, so it's really good for this deck. Then we have 5 plains, then 5 islands. Then we have Icon Store. One of my favourite lands, I can just never say it. Comes into play tapped. You may choose not to untap it during your untapped phase. Instead, put a storage counter on it. Remove any number of storage counters from this. Each storage counter removed, add a white mana. So it's really good when you've got like your things that are stopping people from tapping. Then you've got Hollowed Fountain. It's one of the best pain lands there is. Obviously, you pay 2 life and it enters untapped. It's a searchable land. Guildless Commons enters tapped, but it does make 2 mana. You do have to return a land though. Glacial Fortress enters tapped unless you control a plains or an island. Evolving Wilds searches for a plains or an island. Diamond City is protection. It's probably one of my favourite protection lands. Enters with a shield counter. You can tap, move the shield counter over to like Grand Arbor. Command Tower taps for any mana of the deck. Cavern of Souls, choose a creature type, so you'd say human, and then it's uncounterable, which is the more important part for that. Ancient Tomb, obviously it's very real, as you can see. Tap it for 2 mana, deals 2 damage. And then you have an Adarka Wastes, which is a colourless or pay a life and deal damage. Right, let me show you a few quick things. Give me 1 sec. So, so that one's for that one. Sorry, bear with. I'm trying to go as quickly as possible. Rest in peace. Oh, Painter's Servant. So the two ways to win, other than the approach of the second sun, is these two ways. So, obviously, we'll start off with the Grindstone, Painter's Servant. So, Painter's Servant, Grindstone. Let's see, you've got Grindstone on the battlefield and Painter's Servant on the battlefield. Painter's Servant has chose to say everyone's deck is blue. You will then tap the Grindstone, mill the person, he'll mill 2 cards, they'll both be blue, and he'll continuously mill, i.e. you'll win the game. Same with Help of the Host and Rest in Peace. So Rest in Peace exiles all graveyards and then puts any card into the graveyard exiled. This will mill, but because no card is entered the graveyard, it will completely mill the deck. So you'll get to do that. So 2 win cons, both end the same way. Other than that, the only other win con is people just scoop because they don't want to play against Grand Arbiter because it's nasty. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you want to see some more, I might do some on Moxfield as well, just because it might be a little bit different. Obviously, I'll go through my physical decks because that is the best way to do it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, guys. See you in a bit. Peace.